All right, let's get started with our math lesson today. We're going to talk about 2D shapes. You just watched a video where you reviewed the different 2D shapes and their attributes. So attributes are the sides and vertices. Here's a triangle. We see that it has 3 vertices. Vertices are the corners. And we see that there are 3 sides. 1, 2, 3. We can use sides and vertices to describe any 2D shape. But that's not what we're going to focus on today. We've talked about 2D shapes and their attributes a lot this year. Today, we're going to be talking about how shapes, 2D shapes, can be divided into equal parts. So here, on the left side of this chart, are examples of equal parts. Equal parts are when all the parts in the shape are the same size. So here we have a triangle divided into 2 equal parts. One part here, the other part here. We know they're equal because this part is the same side as this part. Here's a rectangle divided into 4 equal parts. We know they're equal parts because this part, this part, this part, and this part are all the same size. And here's a circle divided into 8 equal parts. Now, on this chart, there are some shapes with parts that are not equal. I included this part of the chart so you can see the difference between equal parts and not equal parts. These shapes have parts that are not equal. So for example, this triangle here, it has 2 parts, but this part is much bigger than this part. So these parts are not equal. We're not going to be talking about not equal parts. We're going to be focusing on equal parts. A whole that is separated into 2 equal parts is separated into halves. Each part is a half of the whole. So here's a circle separated into 2 equal parts. And we call each part a half. So here's one half and here's the other half. Same with our rectangle here. 2 equal parts or 2 halves. One half and here's the other half. 2 halves make up a whole shape. So here we have it looks like a square. It could be a rectangle. I would have to measure it to double check. Let's say, so we see that there are 2 equal parts or 2 halves. Let's say one of the 2 parts is shaded in. And I'm trying my very best to shade it in. It's difficult on a computer. So if 1 out of 2 parts are shaded in, we would say this is 1 of 2 parts. Now here we have a circle with 2 equal parts. What if both halves are shaded in? And again, I'm trying my best to color it in. It's hard on a laptop. So with this circle here, I would say there are 2 of 2 parts shaded in. So 1 of 2 parts and 2 of 2 parts. So those are halves. A whole that is separated into 4 equal parts is separated into fourths or quarters. So if there's 2 parts, we call them halves. If there's 4 equal parts, we call them fourths or quarters. Each part is a fourth or a quarter of the whole. And here's a circle divided into fourths or quarters. And here's a square divided into fourths or quarters. Okay, let's say, so here's a circle with 4 equal parts, or 4 quarters, or 4 fourths. Let's say one of the 4 parts is shaded in. We would say 1 of 4 parts is shaded in, or 1/4, or 1/4. Let's take a look at this rectangle here. Let's say there are 2 parts shaded in. Then we would say there are 2 of 4 parts shaded, or 2/4, or 2/4. Let's look at the triangle here. Again, this is a shape divided into 4 equal parts, 4/4, or 4/4. Let's say there are 3 parts shaded in. And again, I'm doing my best on my laptop with this coloring. It's not easy. So with this here, we would say there are 3 of 4 parts shaded in, or 3/4, or 3/4. All right, good job, boys and girls. Let your teacher know if you have any questions.